Well, hello, everybody. It must be Thursday, and Francisco's back in the studio.
Back in town.
That's right. When's your next vacation?
Maybe this weekend. I don't know. Might go to Vegas or something.
Get there before it gets too damn hot. Actually, wait for a week. It'll be 78.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, your cabin's close by out there, right?
Up in northern. What are you talking about? Cabins up by Pinecrest.
Oh, Pinecrest? Okay. No, I'm sorry.
That'll be like right now. It'll be still like we're at 90 this week. It'd be 70 probably. But I have air conditioning for the hot days.
Nice.
Because you have to. At first, my wife laughed at me. You don't need that. And then she uses it all the time. Because what would happen is you'd get to those days it's 86, right? Hot up there. So then you'd wait. You're like dying because the house then is like 79. You're like, it's so sticky. So you go to the lake and then you come back and it cools off. But you have to. And it's like now you don't have to. It's 71 in the cabin. Who cares?
Be relaxed.
All right. So we want to keep beating the drum of an issue in California. And I saw an article that actually said this: from ice bath to bloodbath, because we had all the weather right now. California struggles with inventory. We talked about this on Tuesday. We talked about how other states are saying we don't want to be like California with this inventory problem. So let's look at what they did wrong. And what they did wrong is just control building too much, right? Stopping. It takes too long to build something here. And what's happening right now is buyers, it's very competitive, and buyers are feeling frustrated because of their lack of options, where they had so many more options 4 months ago. And we were telling them, do it now, get closing costs, get this other stuff. Oh, there's a bubble.
That bubble is going to burst right in everyone's face too.
That bubble was opportunity bubble. I coined back in January, and it's so true. That's what happened. We lost the opportunity bubble, and you still have a chance to get in. Francisco does a great job for his clients and my clients who go with him. That gets them in the properties that other people don't necessarily can do. But right now, people, let me do some inventory numbers and then we'll go on. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, week ending May 6th, right? That was a couple weeks ago. We had 42 new listings of single family homes that came on the market in California. So it's week ending. That's for the whole year, right? I mean, for that one period of time, I guess May 6th. A year ago at that same time period, there was 7684. So that's a difference of almost 3,000 homes in that same week. In 2019, there was 8188 new listings added that 1 week in the state of California. So what does that tell you? About half of the listings are out there, right? That's all we have to work with.
Yeah, and spring is one of the
busiest times.
Exactly.
What's helping right now, unfortunately, is a lot of the divorces are going through the system, finalizing. And so they're selling their houses or buying out somebody else. And that's because usually we have major life changes that makes people go and do things that they don't want to do, like go buy a different house or sell their house or whatever that they planned on being there forever, or having kids. That's not necessarily causing people to go into something else. But,
it's crazy you bring that up, because during the time of, probably like 3-4 months ago, a lot of the clients that I was helping look for houses, those were the houses that we were seeing. Were divorce situations.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them were.
Yeah, because it's taken so long to go through the pandemic, all the divorces that were started, but they couldn't get the court dates.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is, like, imagine if it still would have been delayed, like how much lower would our inventory be right now?
I know
it's crazy. And that's the thing is, and as we tell people, I mean, as they're not continuing to build houses, yes, there are some builders that are still doing it, but like you said, it's very, very slow.
Well, it's just very limited. They're doing hundreds of homes or a couple hundred homes or 300 homes. They're not doing thousands. So back in 2002 through 2006, there, the housing tracks all over Modesto, they were popping up everywhere, right? They were putting thousands of homes in.
Yeah,
which we normally do 1,000 a year in California. In Modesto, but we're not anymore. So that's the problem.
I mean, Modesto in itself, I haven't really seen many new build options around here.
Just the ones that were in place for the last 20 years, and they finally finalized, and they're all over off of Pellendale and those areas. Right. There isn't really, and then other places that are finishing out certain tracks that they had lots from. Patterson's doing pretty well, but that's still that's a community, but it's not thousands of homes, you know.
Yeah. And Patterson's not quite like there yet, you know, like it's
It's
not.
not.
I think it's still. I mean, there's a lot of growth still there. That's going to be.
You're talking about restaurants and stuff like that kind of
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
Because you got to remember but back in 2002, Modesto didn't have In-N-Out. Modesto didn't have a lot of the stuff that is there now. And in certain areas, they didn't have certain things. And that all came after the homes were built, right? In those areas, the new shopping centers, the new this.
Yeah. No, I've even been hearing like throughout like Riverbank, right there. I don't know if you know like where Oakdale Road is. Yeah. Yeah. It actually has been, I think now it's like full on confirmed.
Yeah, I cannot confirm or deny.
Right. But
it's going there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And it's exactly like you're saying. I mean, but in order for that to happen, a sense of economy needs to be in these places. And a sense of economy is not there if people aren't living there.
Right.
And that's where, you know, we need to, I think it was great what you said on the last episode, where it would be nice if, you know, the government started funding possibilities to help builders more. Because if they help the builders more, it helps the builders lower their costs, which hopefully lowers the cost, you know, obviously for the buyers.
Right.
I think that's what could obviously lead towards, you know, a better market. But as we keep moving along, I mean, yeah, it's just going to keep getting harder and harder. It's hard too, because I try to also understand where my clients come from, where, you know, like I had said on the last show as well, I had a client I was talking to that told me, he's like, well, you know, I told him, well, prices are going to go up. And he said, well, how? You know, and I told him, I mean, it's as simple as supply and demand. But I mean, I do always think as well, like where's the breaking point, right? But it doesn't seem like we're near it.
There's a breaking point. There will be one breaking point in 5 years. I'm just saying it's going to get to a point where, all right, right now, well, as rates go down, more people are going to be able to afford as those home prices go up. You got to remember, back in 2020 to 2021, a $700,000 house, your house payment was $3,000 a month. Now a $400,000 house, your payment is $3,000 a month.
That's crazy.
That's the issue, is as rates go down, people are able to afford these higher price homes. It's just the fact that the rates went up 4% in 6 month period that slowed the market to where people thought it was the end again. You know, we're never going to see this. Rates are going to go to 20% there because everybody's worried about what happened in 2008 is going to happen now. I don't want to make a decision and make a mistake. The problem is average people have 181,000 of equity nationwide. California, a lot more, but just nationwide. That's a good place to be sitting at. And 2/3 of all homes have mortgages, right?
Right.
And most of those have a low interest rate.
I always think of as well, you know, when people are so, and I get it, obviously it's a huge purchase, and I understand trying to be as conscious as you can about it, but what are you benefiting from just staying at the rental?
You don't make a mistake.
You know what I'm saying?
Again, we talked about this when it was this show or the other show where I told you about pain or pleasure, right? It's like that people don't want to make a decision. They wait until there's two reasons they do it, out of pleasure and pain. And most people wait till there's pain. Like, oh, my landlord just told me to get out. Yeah. So now I'm going to look at buying because I don't have a choice. Where you should be planning better, but not everybody does. And that's, you know, what you have to do.
Yeah, and I think it's also, I think it's been good that rental rates have been going up, because I think that the low rental rates also just created so much like complacency within people, right?
Well, with the new laws, they don't have a choice.
Yeah,
the new rental laws that they were going to protect the people. That's what they said. The 5 worst words you can hear from somebody is they put their hand out and say, "Hi, I'm from the government. I'm here to help." And that's the problem, is they get involved in things and they try to help and they hurt. And that's what they just did with the rental market. They're causing it to go up every time your lease comes due.
Right. But it's like, and it's, what is the landlord supposed to do? You know, the purpose of obviously purchasing those properties for them is to hopefully have a stream of income. Right. And in order to keep that stream of income, they can't afford to please people. You know, like they have to be at what the market's demanding for them, because their rates are higher. You know, I also haven't even been really seeing much duplexes and things like that for sale, even because people are going to hold on to them. whoever has them, they're starting to realize that, hey, these prices, they'll keep going up, and these rates, I'm never going to be able to have it this low. So why would they sell?
Right.
They're great investments. I mean, even myself, the duplex that I bought, I'm probably never going to sell it.
No, I know people, investors. I got interviewed on one of their podcasts last week because they asked me about my book and everything. And the question was, how's California market? And then he told me where he was, and he talked about somebody in Ohio, and it's the exact same thing. Where it's through the roof. It's just going to continue to do this. We're not going to see anything different.
Yeah. And for a lot of people who like think of that resort of, I'm going to leave, right? Like I'm going to go out of state. Like you said, right? Unless if you want to be in Pennsylvania, all those other places are pretty jacked up too.
Right. Well, I was trying to lose. Of course, I must be getting old. I got to take a Jankoba. But my train of thought was the fact that he is still picking up doors everywhere. He picks these apartment complexes at 12 units, 30 units, whatever you can get, apartment complexes. He's picking up so many. I know so many people. We had Jake and Gino on the radio show a couple weeks ago, and they're a huge multifamily, and they coach people on how to do it. And they're doing the same thing too. They have 2,000 doors themselves, and they keep adding to their portfolio because they know where it's going to go in the future.
Oh. No, yeah.
Yes.
And it's either these investors that are like trying to do, better and be at a better spot for themselves and their families, or it's going to be these big multi-billion-dollar companies that are buying them out anyway.
Well, most of these guys put them all together and then sell that whole portfolio to BlackRock or something like that. Anyway,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how it all works.
I'm selling out so I can get my money, and there I'm out of here. Yeah, it's like it's just you just don't get where we're at, and I don't think we'll really know where we're at till we're 10 years down the road. You know what I mean?
Look back on it.
I mean, we can look back now, last 6 months, and nobody listened to it. I mean, a lot of people listened to us, but not everybody listened to us because they thought we were crazy saying what we were saying. Because you and I weren't the only ones. Other people I know I've been talking to, we're saying the same thing. It's like, you need to get into a home.
Yeah.
Now is your time. You'll be able to refinance down the road. We're no longer people say date the rate and marry the price. That's old, but that's basically what you're going to do. You're going to be okay with the payment for a short period of time, and short could be 1 year, 2 years, and refinance. But you got to be careful. You can't go into the thing saying, I got to have a payment of a certain dollar amount.
Right.
Because then you mess up your loan officer every time he runs new numbers and everything. And it's like you're constantly running new numbers on new things. What if we do this? What if we do this? And then if it doesn't exactly work out, they get mad at you.
Right. And not only that, but the market is so volatile right now. And it's exactly like you say, you can't quite give numbers even. And everybody's situation is so different. However, there's a general, like, I don't even know how to say, like a spectrum, right? Of what you would
need some water.
Within. I'll take some after. We'll be good. But thank you. But yeah, no, it's
if
just
you can get it. I don't know if you can get it.
Okay, right now. But yeah, ultimately what we do want you to understand, and I mean, this is the reason that I come on here, every week, or try to come on here every week, right? Is because I think it's important for you guys to know it. And the more of you that catch on, hopefully we'll be able to help you and help you get there to create that difference. But we can't, lead a horse to water, right? I mean, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink, and I've gotten there to the point where I'm showing people houses and they're making the wrong decisions when it comes to offering, and they're trying to save a little right now. However, they don't know how that process is going to cost them even more down the line.
Right. Listen to your agent. They know what's going on in the market. We don't go to your job and tell you what to do. Right now, I'm not going to tell you how to drive that vehicle or do whatever you do at your work, because I have no idea, but I do know what I do every day, and I do know what it's about. And it's just, we do the best we can with what we have. And on a lot of people look to us, the people who do the lending, and go, what's my costs, right? And what we do is we take everybody else's numbers, put them in, and we don't really have much of the numbers into that game. But they're looking to us because of what the government changed years ago, that we have to disclose the loan estimate and the CD. So they look to us. Well, what are your numbers? It's like, it's not our numbers. We're just we're in charge of putting everybody else's together. So we don't know what escrow title company you're going to go with. Some of them are very much more expensive than other ones. And so we do the best we can, but you can't be, my numbers won't change, but the escrow companies could. Right. So I don't want to get out on a soapbox. It's just they look to us to be right on. And the only time we're right on is once we get the numbers disclosed from the escrow company we're going to, that we can put them in our numbers and be right.
Right. And that's where it's like I say, understand that there's just a little spectrum within it, and then you will find out those more definite numbers once you get in contract. But until you get there, you're just, it's not going to be solid. And I think, you obviously do a great job of at least preparing people for the worst case scenario.
I do my best, but not always. I mean, we have one client right now, because of what he's saying and what he wants is just a little bit harder.
Right.
So,
but we still make that effort. We'll help you guys. We're going to get you.
Don't try to come off wrong. It's just, you have to understand rule in this market. You have to roll with some of the stuff that we don't have control over.
And you got to trust who's representing you.
That we're going to do the best we can for you. 150%, and get you the best price we can. That's Francisco's job, but again, he's stuck with how many other people are writing offers and everything else.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for being here, Francisco.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching. If you like what we do here, the easiest way to help us support us is just subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's the Real Estate Jerky, or even mine, the Ed Parcaut one. Francisco Ruvalcaba's also. That's what it is, right? It's not right.
You got it good. That was good.
What?
Yeah. You said the last name good.
All right. I tried to do my best. All right. Make it a great day. Thank you, Francisco.